order the August 16th, 2022 Putnam County Planning Commission. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Here.
Heather Davis. Jim Dodger.
Here.
Brian Ellis.
Here.
Ron Foster.
Here.
Jessica Griffith. David Hopper. Brian Wellman. Dick Mays.
Here.
David Meadows. David Mills.
Present.
Jacob Pack. Steve Perry.
Here.
Travis Willard.
Here.
Glenn Yeager. We have a board.
We'll take it. So you guys have in front of you the July 19th, 2022 meeting minutes. Take a look. No changes are needed. I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Have a motion, have a second.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next part here, citizens' concerns. I'll let the record state there's no citizens unless you, okay, we're good. All right, up next is a public hearing for a text amendment for Article 150.02. We'll open the public hearing, make sure there's no conflict amongst the board. All right, staff.
This is text amendments to modify Article 150.02, Article 100, subsection 100.01 through 100.12. Jason Asbury, chairperson for the Putnam County Ordinance Review Subcommittee and the president of the Putnam County Planning Commission, has petitioned for a text amendment to amend Articles 150.02 and Article 100, subsections 100.01 through 100.12 of the zoning ordinance for the zone unincorporated areas of Putnam County, West Virginia. Reference documents are at the president's seat. State Code Authority may be found in West Virginia State Code subsection 8A-7-8, amendments to the zoning ordinance by the governing body. Legal authority may be found in Article 2000, amendments, procedures, as well as Article 2000.03B, filing procedures. Facts: the proposed text amendment was approved by the Ordinance Review Subcommittee during the July 21st, 2022 meeting. A legal advertisement describing the text amendment proposal was published in the Hurricane Breeze on July 28th, advising the public of the August 16th, 2022 Putnam County Planning Commission meeting. The proposed text amendment 2022-06, Article 150.02, definition of terms is included to include the definitions of change of business and change of land use. CLU is attached as Attachment A. The proposed text amendment 2022-07, Article 100, subsections 100.01 through 100.12, subdivision application procedure and approval process is attached as Attachment B. Facts that need to be determined. The proposed amendment will protect and promote the public health, safety, convenience, moral, and general welfare. The governing body, with the advice of the Planning Commission, must find that the amendment is consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan and ordinances. If the amendment is inconsistent, the governing body, with the advice of the Planning Commission, must find there have been major changes of an economic, physical, or social nature within the area involved, which were not anticipated when the comprehensive plan was adopted. Those changes have substantially altered the basic characteristics of the area. The R2 worksheets at the end of your packet, one for Article 150.02, one for Article 100, subsection 100.01 through 100.12. Looking at attachment A, the two definitions that we would like to include is change of business. The total change of business type of a business change that is the same type or similar of the former business within a building or on the land. Change of business shall not be interpreted as change of land use. See change of land use. Change of land use, CLU, change in primary activity conducted on the land or within a building, such as from agricultural to business, business to residential, residential to business, commercial to industrial, or one industrial use to another that significantly differs from the former use. Change of land use shall not be interpreted as change of business. See change of business. Attachment B, I'll just paraphrase everything, if that's okay. The changes with Article 100, subsections 100.01 through 100.12 is as follows. The Planning Commission is granting the Office of Planning and Infrastructure more authority to approve projects in-house. Major subdivision developments will be the only development under this article that will require a public hearing. We also included exempt division of land, now has the correct definition, which is exempt from regulations, not the application fee, which is how it currently is stated. It also goes into more detail as to what types of projects qualify as exempt. We also propose a distinction between a minor division of land and minor subdivision development, and a major division of land and a major subdivision development. We also have a stricken classification variation because we made it more simple or simplified it to subdivision type. Minor division of land has a new definition, as well as minor subdivision development, major division of land, and major subdivision development, and I will read those as follows. A minor subdivision. Section A, division of land. A minor division of land for the purposes of this ordinance shall be defined as that division of land into not more than 5 lots, including the residual or parent lot and/or property within 500 feet from the original property boundary for a period of 10 years. Minor subdivision development. A minor subdivision development is defined by a single utility pole. Major subdivision of land. A major division of land is a division of 6 or more lots, including the residual or parent lot, and or any property within 500 feet from the original property boundaries for a period of 10 years. For the purposes of these regulations, a major division of land shall be defined as all divisions of land not determined by the Planning Commission officer or staff as an exempt or minor divisions of land. Section B, subdivision development for a major. A major subdivision development is defined by every lot pulling from one utility pole. One other thing I would like to point out is that for every one of these, we've included It is the applicant's responsibility to obtain all applicable permits and plan approvals from all authorities having jurisdiction in the state of West Virginia, i.e. Department of Environmental Protection, West Virginia Department of Highways, Putnam County Health Department, Putnam Public Service District, West Virginia American Water, and etc. Each permit can be obtained in phases and do not require pre-approval or approval from stated entities in order for the Planning Commission, Planning Office, or staff to approve the development, construction, and regardless of development type. Therefore, it is not the responsibility of Office of Planning and Infrastructure, staff, Planning Commission, or County Commission if development construction begins prior to obtaining applicable permits from stated entities during each phase of development. It is also the responsibility of the state of West Virginia entities to enforce their own agency regulations and violations. Sorry, my mic is cutting in and out, I've just noticed that. So, I'm sure that's annoying. Thank you. All right, so we also added, if there is an existing access easement on the property that the subdivider is dividing, then the width of the existing access easement remains the same width as the existing access easement and is not governed by the right-of-way regulations of this ordinance. If a new easement is required to divide the property, then the new easement shall be governed by the right-of-way regulations in this ordinance. I'm open for any questions. And we have a lot of subcommittee members here today, too. So, either one.
All right, does anybody have questions for staff?
I've got one, but I'm having trouble finding where. Just help me understand. There, I just had wondered why. There's a, can't find it again. There's a provision in here that says, and I believe it's talking about major, not in front of here. Basically says that they have to use the plat, and that meets and bounds description will not be allowed or acceptable. And I was just wondering what the reasoning was behind that, because
Could you tell me what page number?
Hey, Jim, was it under the conceptual plat stuff? Was it maybe down towards the bottom under conceptual plat?
I think it's page 3 of that attachment.
Okay.
Under 100.1, 1, 3, 1, 2.
on page 3,
Page 3, yes.
yeah, that's it. Thanks. Yeah, the general procedure, number 2. The use of meets and bounds description for the division of property for the purpose of sale, transfer, or lease shall not be permitted.
I don't know where you, I'm sorry, can you, I don't know where you're at.
On page 3, under 100.00, and then 100.01, general procedure.
Page three.
It's attachment page 3 in the document.
Page 3 in the document.
It's page 1 of the.
It's been a long day, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Right.
And I should have asked you this offline, because I know we've had a lot of back and forth, and you've done tremendous work on this. But the only reason I ask now is it jumped out at me.
I've only said that because I've actually taken from other parts of the ordinance that states this that I did not write. So I'm
Okay.
thinking, to be consistent, that we'd probably want the same
Okay.
thing for a plat for a minor.
The only reason I bring it up is because I can foresee a situation where if you get into a dispute, a legal dispute, if landowners, adjacent landowners get into a legal dispute, if they're referring to plats, as we a lot of times we do nowadays, I've even done recently myself, if you get into a dispute as to who owns what, and whether somebody's on somebody else's land, or whether their lines cross, the only way I think a court is probably going to be able to solve that is to send a surveyor out and do a meets and bounds. I don't know, if you had dueling plats, I guess you could have it resolved, but I'm just,
How would you
pardon me?
How would you want to word that? I mean, that's what this board is for. So-
I mean, rarely would I see someone with a major subdivision come in with a meets and bounds because it'll be hundreds of pages long. And the survey, whoever's going to do that would cost them an arm and a leg. But I don't know if we should prohibit it. I mean, if someone did want to come in with the meets and bounds, which, goes from this red oak to that iron pin to that whatever, so many feet, whatever, I don't know that we should prohibit it. Because when you get down to it, meets and bounds is a very exact, survey is a very exact procedure.
Would it be prohibited because it's probably unreasonable to think society could accept that in form in terms of being able to submit that information? Is that probably, again, I'm not.
We always require plats with meets and bounds. I mean, that's not anything new.
Yeah, I think the whole point here is to clarify, and you said you got this from other parts.
Yes.
It's to clarify that you cannot create a new parcel or make a new change just with deed work only. You have to have a plat with it. So what it's saying is you can't just do a deed with a description of the meets and bounds without
Okay.
a plat and record it.
All right, I didn't read it that way, because maybe if we could put the word only in there or something, but I get your point now. I see.
Should that be reworded then?
Does it fix it if you say the use of meets and bounds descriptions?
Without, I would say,
Yeah,
I'll just say the use of meets and bounds description without a plat
yeah.
for the division of property. I put that in both of those paragraphs. Without a plat, between or after the word description, in both of those. Clears it up for me.
Okay. I'll let the record state that there is nobody from the public here for public comment. Any other questions from staff before I close the public hearing here? There's a lot here.
We have one person we want to make sure that doesn't want to speak
He's
at the
already
public
said.
hearing. And you might not open it and close it just to be formal.
Just to be formal. All right, well, I'll close the public hearing. So we have two worksheets to go through here, one for 150.02, which is the change of land use, or change of, land use description for change of business, and then the addition of change of land use, which is attachment A.
Attachment A.
So the first fact that needs to be determined is the proposed amendment will protect and promote the public health, safety, convenience, moral, and general welfare.
Mr. President, I would argue that it does, simply because you're adding two definitions and you're providing not only staff, but the ability to discern.
We have any difference of opinion for fact number one? Okay. Fact number two, the governing body with the advice of Planning Commission must find that the amendment is consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan.
I'd say, yes, it does, because it really doesn't change anything. It just provides clarity, clarification to the existing ordinance, which was already in compliance with, or already consistent with the comprehensive.
All right, so we have a yes for number one, yes for number two. The way I read the sheet, we do not need to go to number three. So with that, we will entertain a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, same worksheet for text amendment for Article 100, 100.01 through 100.12. Will the proposed amendment protect and promote the public health, safety, convenience, morals, and general welfare?
I would say, Mr. Chairman, that yes, this, again, excellent work by staff in making these changes. These just really clear up a lot of ambiguity and help make the ordinance much easier to understand and to read and apply for staff. So I think obviously that would promote the public health, safety, convenience, morals, and general welfare.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dodrell. Anybody like to offer different opinion? All right, number two, is the amendment consistent in achieving the objectives of the adopted comprehensive plan, US 35 corridor management plan, and the Tays Valley land use plan?
I would argue that that is yes for the same reason Mr. Dodrell pointed out.
Okay, anybody like to offer a different opinion? All right, two yeses, don't need to go to number three. I will entertain a motion to approve based on Mr. Dodrell's stated correction to the one section.
That, the amendment?
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you want me to state that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Or, in section, 100.01, general procedure, under one, and then paragraphs 2 and 3 under the application, I would recommend inserting the words "without a plat" after the word "description" in the last sentence of both number 2 and number 3.
Is it in the form of a motion?
That's motion, yes.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I will also echo Mr. Dodrell's comments of great job, especially to Tina, because I know Tina put in a lot of work, a lot of research specifically for this, some of which was, I know, after hours, so thank you.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
All right.
That's just the beginning, by the way, so.
Hey, this is true.
Sorry.
Yeah, we did the easy ones tonight. A monthly report.
Mr. Chairman, just for, so the record, was that a vote on my amendment? Do we need a vote on the?
I thought that was a vote on the amendment to approve as presented with that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, as long as we're good, I don't want to
Yeah.
skip a step.
We are good, right, David? Okay. All right, monthly report.
We will be having our next ordinance review subcommittee meeting on August the 25th to discuss more text amendments. And we will have our next planning commission on September 20th to review more text amendments as of right now.
Grab some dinner before you come to that one.
Yeah. Real quick, through the first 7.5 months of this year, we're currently ahead of our development and zoning permits from last year. We're 42% over on development permits and 31% on the zoning permits. So the staff's been working pretty hard. Over the last 10 years, as of the first 7.5 months of this year, we're up 11% on development and 23% on zoning. And sadly, I'd like to comment that tonight's Kathy's last meeting with us. She'll be, she's moving on and leaving us.
I want to personally thank you, Kathy, for your dedicated service while you're here. I think you've done an excellent job, and we're going to miss you. And we're going to miss that fella behind you, too.
Yeah, I will echo Mr. Foster's comments. Thank you. All right, any unfinished business? New business? Motion to adjourn.